So this is going to be a bit of an out there booking, but screw it and do what I want, right?
You're the booker.
We'll also assume that we're also going to assume a couple. So we're just going on assumptions here. I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to disagree with this, but yeah, just for interesting sake, I would have Corbin win the Money in the Bank ladder match, and I still predict that he's going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Heels having the Money in the Bank briefcase are so much more interesting. And while you could book a babyface to cash in on Jinder, no, I think you would do the opposite. I think the smart thing, at least what I would do is I would have a build with Jinder as champion for as long as possible and have him lose the WWE Championship to, you ready for this? Brace yourself. Nakamura. Now, I'm not saying immediately. I'm saying give this a long time, maybe around Survivor Series. Lose it to Nakamura. And then that's when Corbin cashes in. So you get the gratitude of the big moment where Nakamura finally not only wins the WWE Championship, but also defeats the modern day Maharaja and gets the huge, overwhelming tones of that happening. But then almost instantly, Corbin gets the heat for it. He's already got enough heat enough as it is. He beats Nakamura. He takes the title from Nakamura. He takes his moment, all this stuff. So he gets the heat on top of that as well, too, and puts him over as well, too. So instantly, in one felt swoop, you've gotten Jinder to drop the championship, which you know is going to happen anyway. You created a big moment then and another big moment and created 2 stars almost back to back. That's how I would do it.
And where would that event take place, that Jinder Mahal versus Nakamura? Are you talking SummerSlam, or are you going even further and talking Survivor Series WrestleMania?
No. I wouldn't do Mania. I don't think they're going to push it that far. I would probably, a safe bet would be Survivor Series. I think that if you want to, especially because it also serves the purpose of trying to, which they're trying to do now, they're trying to build Survivor Series up to being a big, again, a proper Big Four, with TakeOver the night before. So I think having that high profile matchup, or at least building to it being a high profile, might be a little soon for Nakamura to win the championship, but it's for me, it would be creating the star and creating the intrigue and creating the moment of him cashing in and just all that stuff. And then you have a very interesting scenario going into the future. Plus, that way you can also have Jinder saying, I didn't get my rematch and still, blah, blah, blah. And there's just so many different things you can go from there as well, too.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If that happens, that guarantees Corbin as like an insta super heel, because people are just, foaming from the mouth for Nakamura. And I'll be honest, I'm one of those people. I love Nakamura. I've always loved him from New Japan and so on. And imagine that moment hitting and he finally wins the title and then only to be taken away from Corbin. That would be an incredible moment, actually. So that's some pretty good booking. I definitely give you 4 stars for
one scenario that I always said, because of course they changed their minds about everything, is what I would do, and this is something little crazy, and you have to kind of be attention to detail, so it might not go over as far as the bigger audience, and like we mentioned before, I want to see a double cash in. And what do I mean by that? Well, the rules of the Money in the Bank, you get a cash in at any point you want, anytime, up to a year. If the next year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view and then Money in the Bank ladder match happen before the year is up. So what I mean by that is let's take Jinder, Corbin, and Nakamura, for example, right? Let's say Nakamura and Corbin both win a Money in the Bank. So we have Corbin win the first one, right? A year passes. Nakamura wins the 2018 Money in the Bank ladder match, cashes in that night, but then Corbin comes in right behind him and cashes in on him.
That would be fucking amazing.
We've never seen a double cash in before.
The truth is, the reason why we're never going to see that is because WWE is all about instant gratification. I remember back in the days, the 80s, the 90s, a storyline went on for like 6 months. And, back then there were only 4 pay-per-views and they were like 2 months apart. So storylines would go on for 4-6 months, even in some cases like 8 months to a year. Now, if a storyline's like 2 months, that's a long time. So to actually have someone hold the case for 1 full year, I know they did it before, but to have it 1 full year with no cash in, I don't see them doing that. I don't see them going to that storyline again to have it hold for a year until the next Money in the Bank comes, just because they're all about that instant gratification. They'll want to have that cash in at a Big Four or the night after a Big Four, just for like, oh, we did this.
I'm just saying it would make things very shocking and very intriguing. I think fans would pick. I mean, we've never had a scenario where there are 2 people holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, at least for the same potential championship. We've either had one or we've had one for Raw, one for SmackDown. So it would create things differently. But that's what I would just do, because you still have a little bit of overlap. Like I always try to find, like, for me, I would try to find things different and shocking, and some of it would be, some of it's crap, some of it's good. I do have a fantasy booking series on my channel as well too, and I'm not saying I'm ideal with it, but I would try to at least do something different, unique, something that might be like, whoa, wait, that is not the direction I would go in that one. And that's part of the reason why I go there, is because we're so used to seeing the cookie cutter booking, the cookie cutter this and that. Maybe try and go a different direction with that. It could go one way, it could go the other. That's why when Jinder Mahal won the championship, I was ecstatic, because say what you will about the build, that's questionable. I'll completely agree with on that. But you know what? It's something different. It's something new. It's a new cat in the house. It's a fresh face. Again, arguable as far as other factors of it, but bigger picture, it's a new player on SmackDown, and I'm all about the land of opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, just real quick about Jinder, regardless if Jinder deserves the opportunity or he's at that level, like you said, it's a fresh face, and now they've essentially given himself another mid-carder. Regardless of whatever happens to the future of Jinder, he's going to at least bare minimum be a mid-carder, because he's a former world champ. So at least they have that. They're building new stars, and that's the point of the business, to continue to build new stars. One other thing really quick before we move on from Money in the Bank, and I cannot believe they never did this, because I thought it would have been such a good idea. It's too late to do it now. But even the Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble, I cannot believe they've never had anyone win Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble and say, you know what? I don't care about the world title. I'm not going to cash in my Money in the Bank on the world title. Or I win the Royal Rumble. I don't want a world title match at WrestleMania. What I want is a match with The Undertaker. Obviously now Undertaker's probably done, so that's never going to happen. But I cannot believe they never did that with all the years, because Undertaker, the world title, but his prestige to fight a person like Undertaker at WrestleMania, that's a big thing. That's a main event type thing. Do you think it's a good idea, a stupid idea? What do you think?
I think I think that could work, but it would have to work with a very select group of people. I think if you did it with guys who've already won the championship, if you did it with like a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels or a John Cena, I think that would make all the sense in the world.
But anyway, going back to the original segment, which was Book It, you did have Baron Corbin winning the Money in the Bank and eventually cashing in on Nakamura, who would eventually be Jinder Mahal. So I thought that was beautiful. We're going to go into our last topic here. And it's something pretty interesting. Again, it's widely known that I'm a huge old school fan. And one of my favorite promo guys ever, back in those times, everybody always used to yell, Hogan, Warrior, Savage, whoever. But this guy would always just talk quietly, and you had no choice but to just engage and listen to every word he was saying. He recently put out a tweet a couple days ago. I think it was like 2 days ago, and 2 days ago from the time of this recording. And it basically said, I'm going to read it. It basically says, Dear wrestling gods, please give me a match versus Bray Wyatt. Promise to work really hard, and sure, it will be extremely interesting. Hashtag WWE. Now, here's my thing. Wyatt versus Jake, amazing match on the microphone. In the ring, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, as great as Jake was back in the day, it's a different Jake. I understand he's probably in shape, he's clean, amazing, great. I just don't think it would work in the ring. I'd love to see them get into some kind of verbal dispute, or even have Jake be some sort of advisor or a manager to him, or someone that he's feuding against. Strictly keep it Mike. What are your thoughts on that?
You hit the nail on the head. I think see, the thing is, I know Jake's in the best health he's ever been in, so I don't know. Maybe he could go in the ring. You never know. You would have to see how he does. But if, let's say, worst case scenario, he's not able to perform in ring as he once was, then yes, I would have him be an advocate piece and be a mouthpiece, essentially the Paul Heyman to whoever Bray Wyatt's opponent is. He can build up and hype up the fight and hype up whoever Wyatt's facing. I would kind of cringe if it was Roman Reigns. And for some reason, my sphincter tightened for some reason. I don't know.
Why do you say stuff like that? Oh my god!
I don't know. It came. Like,
I'm not talking about your sphincter. I'm talking about Roman Reigns. Sphincter is fine here. Not Roman Reigns. Different story. Now you're hitting below the belt.
No, but in any case, but just the verbal tips. Honestly, I kind of wish Jake came back for Wyatt's feud against Undertaker, because I don't know if you remember this, but Orton had encountered Jake when this build to WrestleMania 2021, because Jake was one of Undertaker's first victims at WrestleMania, and he could do this elaborate thing where he warns him. It'd be gold. And I definitely notice. I don't disagree whatsoever. I think that Jake and Wyatt would have amazing verbal moments numerous times. It just really boils down to, would they be able to compete in the ring? I mean, I think if you were to have them in the ring, you'd have to have some sort of crazy stipulation, like a no holds barred or whatnot, and basically you have to have it at SummerSlam. There's no other pay-per-view, I think. Maybe Survivor. Well, I don't think you could do it at WrestleMania. I just feel like it's one of those highlight matches. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, we're bringing back this person to hype up this as like a attraction match for the old school fans. You know what I mean? Kind of like Shawn and Hogan was for SummerSlam a couple decades back. God, I'm old. A couple decades back.
I'm older than you.
Scary. But that match wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything like, oh my God. I mean, it was just, they're gonna fight and it's Shawn versus Hogan. Hooray! You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those like high profile attraction matches you're just throwing out there to be eye catching and eye grabbing. I think that would be the purpose of that one. It's not gonna take anything away from my excitement for the match. Absolutely freaking not. But it just depends. Could Jake go? I mean, you never know. He's in fantastic shape.
That'd be a great thing. And if Jake is able to do as many matches, that'd be amazing. And I think there'll be an amazing story to tell there, considering both these guys are amazing on the mic. But we'll see. I mean, Jake wanted a shot a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago at Royal Rumble, and never got that opportunity. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. I highly doubt it, but hey, you never know. We've seen stranger things happen before in professional wrestling, so we'll see. So at this point, I want to go into the last segment, which is my absolute favorite part of the Smark Talk, and that is the gripe bomb. And what the gripe bomb is I'm going to give you 60 seconds. You have a total of 60 seconds to rant about anything wrestling related. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what promotion it is. I don't care. You have 60 seconds to say whatever the hell you want. Your gripe bomb starts right now.
Biggest gripe with WWE in general and wrestling in general is storyline inconsistency. When you have storylines and moments in wrestling that just happen and you can see a build coming from a mile away, these epic moments that happen and they lead absolutely freaking nowhere. For some reason, Nexus attacking The Undertaker comes to mind. You have Nia Jax being randomly interjected in this one. Hey, Charlotte attacked Bayley, but guess what? Sasha gets a rematch. What the hell? You have all this build, all this momentum. You obviously have a freaking plan in mind, but they're like, I'm just going to go ahead and change and go this way because today's Tuesday and I want to change things up for some reason. What happened to all that build and time and effort you put on a freaking pay-per-view and actually put on a spotlight for a freaking match just to have it pulled out of the rug for the other? It's like a biggest carrot dangling right there, and we're going to go and grab it and just say F you instead of give you the finger. How many seconds was that?
You got 7 seconds left.
Screw it, I hit inconsistency.
Time. Great. One of the best gripe bombs we've had on this show. So that
aggravating.
was amazing.
It's so aggravating to me.
You know what you said is 100% true, and I was tweeting about this yesterday. The whole 50-50 booking and stuff. It's just, I don't know. Again, a whole nother talk for a whole nother day, a whole nother show. It's just so many things wrong with the product today. Yet we continue to watch it every day. Not only do we watch it, but we're crazy enough to sit down and analyze and review it multiple times a week. Exactly. But, someone once told me something. One of the guys on our podcast, shout out to Fame Black, and he said, I'm going to paraphrase because I want to botch what he said, but it was something along the lines of, if everything we wanted to see in wrestling actually happened, would we still want to watch? Really? Would we want to watch if every single thing was happening the way we wanted? Because I think part of the reason why we watch is we want to see, is something going to be different? I don't know if you understand my thinking there or understand his thinking, but
no, it makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, no, it makes all the sense in the world because we sit here, and I'm no different with this either, and we plan how we would do things, or it would be better to do it this way, or this would mean more. And if all that happened, it would be predictable and complacent. So despite the crap that we get sometimes, some of it, and I do say some with the biggest asterisk in the world, some of it could be worse. Could be a whole lot better, but it could be worse. I honestly try. I mean, it's very easy to sit there and complain about things, which I do in my reviews from time to time because it's the way, the nature of the product. But I do try to find some positives that I enjoy about the show as well too. I really like this segment. This wasn't too bad. I thought this was okay. You know, I try to focus on some of the positive aspects rather than just constantly coming out and bash it. But no, he is absolutely 100% correct. I love Fame Black. He is absolutely correct. If it was what we wanted, we probably wouldn't be watching it, or we wouldn't be as interested as we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, there's the good and the bad with anything really in life. There's always good, there's bad, and you know, we try to do the same exact thing you just said. We try to bring the good and also speak about the bad, because if you're not speaking about the bad, then you're just leaving a part out of the product. But you know, you have to find that healthy balance. I never want to be the type of guy that just comes on here and bashes the product from beginning to end. I'm just not one of those guys. I know there are people that do that. That's their thing, you know, to each his own. But that's just, you know, I always like to see the good. I like to see the bad. At the end of the day, some of it is great, some of it is crap. But even the parts that are crap, it's our crap, and we hold it near and dear to our heart. That's just what it is. So
Even if it smells.
That really. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's pretty much all we have for the show. We're gonna go home now, and OKayFabe, I'm gonna ask, where can the good people reach you if they want to find you? Go ahead and plug all your stuff. Tell them a little bit about your shows, your podcasts.
Sure. So I'm pretty much every freaking where, folks. My main places is YouTube, youtube.com/OKayFabe. So it's OKayFabe with an R at the end. I'm also on vid.me, which is a new video platform. It's kind of like YouTube, still on the rise. I'm also on there too, vid.me/OKayFabe. You get a lot of the same content from my YouTube channel as well too. Twitter is a big one for me. I love tweeting with you guys live during shows like Raw and SmackDown, other shows and pay-per-views. You can follow me at OKayFabe on there too. I'm also on Facebook, and I'm a major, I also have all my audio versions of my major reviews on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play Music. So you can just search OKayFabe, and you'll probably find me on there. So go give a listen, and appreciate the support.
So guys, definitely go ahead and check that out. Check out all the platforms and absolutely support OKayFabe. He's a great guy. OKayFabe, again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And for all of our listeners, all of our supporters, all of our viewers, thank you so much for supporting myself as well as the rest of the WWPN team. We continue to enjoy getting the feedback from you guys. We're seeing reviews, and we just really appreciate it. Remember to visit us at .com to see all of our content. We have articles, we have videos, we have podcasts. It's just a slew of things. In addition to that, continue to go on our YouTube channel, which you can search Wrestling World Podcast Network. The link will be in this video, of course. And obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you've found the channel. But yeah, we have a lot of shows coming, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And as always, once again, thank you so much for supporting us, and have a great night.